Hello everyone, Mike from DynamicPoint. Thank you so much for joining us today as part of Key2Act Synergy. Today we're going to be looking at Office 365 SharePoint, specifically customer, vendor, and employee portals with integration to Key2Act. We have a brief presentation, so we're going to get started immediately and we're going to move through it pretty quickly. Introduction on who is DynamicPoint. We've been in business for over a decade now, and that whole time we've been focused on extending the reach of Microsoft Dynamics, including Key2Act, through SharePoint applications. And that's changed considerably in the past decade, and it used to be on-premise, and now our focus is on Office 365 application development, and that could reside either on Office 365 or on-premise, but the whole application of a whole suite of products that come with Office 365 has most certainly changed, and with that, our application architecture has adapted over time. Our product lineup, we have a portal application. That's the one we're going to be featuring today. It could be used for customer, vendor, and employee portals. It's a very flexible product, so the same application could actually satisfy many different use cases, including those three that I just mentioned. We have an invoice automation application, as well as an employee expense. But again, the focus will be on our portal product for the sake of today. What makes us different as a company? Essentially, the analogy I like to use is if you think of an application that exists on your mobile device and how it leverages all the various functionality included with that, we do just the same. So we are installed on top of SharePoint. So here's our product, and we're installed as a SharePoint application. And we leverage all of these suite of products that come with Office 365, including Microsoft Flow, otherwise known as Power Automate for workflow. We use Power Apps for mobile applications, of which we'll be showcasing one today, as well as Forms. And in addition to that, we also use Power BI for reporting and analytics. So again, we are very much like a mobile app, leveraging, as opposed to the Android or Apple platform, we are leveraging the Office 365 platform. The portal application. So the portal application is essentially taking an Office 365 extranet page or intranet, depending on if it's accessible internal by employees or by customers and vendors. And all of these features that come with that portal application from a collaboration perspective, document libraries, wikis, blogs, news posts, all of these various features that are available on SharePoint natively. And our application introduces the integration of the data coming from the ERP application, and specifically in this case, Key2Act. So what our portal product is doing is enabling this integration and collaboration of data that exists in either an ERP or CRM system, today specifically focused on Dynamics GP, and more specifically on the Key2Act modules that reside within Dynamics GP. So for our agenda in the demo, we'll be going through a customer service portal. And in this, we'll be featuring service cases as being our main call to action and integration point. And we also have a mobile app for creating those, which we'll showcase. And then we're going to switch and go to an employee job cost portal. And that'll look at projects, contracts, and jobs. Again, the audience for this one is going to be more of an internal employee portal, where the customer service portal is going to be more external facing, targeting our customers. So we'll go ahead and get out of the PowerPoint presentation and go to our customer service portal. So what I'm showing you now is really nothing more than an Office 365 SharePoint extranet that has been configured to share with my customers in this case. So I have various calls to action here. I have some service calls, service appointments and equipment, invoices and maintenance contracts, as well as the ability to manage our company information. All of these are going to leverage the features and functionality provided by our product to show that information from the Key2Act modules. But before we go into that, I'll just scroll down a little bit and show some of the other capabilities available with Office 365 and SharePoint. One is the ability to embed Power BI reports such as dashboards and analytics. Our product does pass parameters to this, so they can be specific to the authenticated customer. Other things, I have a news feed here, just showcasing some news on the portal, as well as a document library. This document library is being, again, filtered for that authenticated customer, so I'm only showing such contracts, statements of work, product specification that are applicable to the authenticated customer. So let's go ahead and scroll back up, and we'll go to these various calls to action here that I'm trying to call my customer's attention to. And let's start off on the first one, the big one being service calls. If I click on service calls, what the product is doing is actually dynamically retrieving the service calls for this customer from Key2Act and filtering them for the authenticated user. So we're not obviously showing all service calls, we're showing those that are applicable for the authenticated customer. Depending on my configuration, I could have this information be view only or potentially editable. You'll note here I have a print icon, which actually includes the integration to the ability to print reports directly from Key2Act, as well as you see create. So in this case, I'm showcasing the ability to create service calls. The thing to note is that everything I'm showing you today is really just for demonstration purposes. All of this is configurable. If you don't like the layout, the colors, the columns that I've included, even the points of integration, all of that is configurable with our portal application. It is more of a platform in that it can be used for any integration of information coming from Dynamics GP or Key2Act, and that is enabled through configuration of the product. So let's look at the service calls, and we're going to drill into some of these and just showcase the features that we've enabled in this demonstration. So drilling into the service calls, it's going to bring up the specifics of it. In this case, you can see here I could edit the date. Maybe I want to modify the date of the service call, the type of call it is, assign a resolution ID, as well as a technician. Go ahead and update that. Now when I update it, it could do one of two things. One is it could trigger workflow for review and approval prior to updating Key2Act, and the other is it could actually integrate directly. Another thing to know about the portal is we're not storing any data. Key2Act is still the system of record. What we're showing you here is a window into that information. So we're not replicating any information to SharePoint or to a portal application. We're dynamically showing that in a real-time fashion. What if I want to print a report? So when I click the print icon, what's going on here is we're passing a parameter to a Key2Act published report, in this case the call summary, and showing it specific to the call that I happen to be on. So in this case, it was that service call that I clicked on. We are rendering that in a PDF fashion. The reason we select PDF is it could be used across mobile devices, various browsers, etc. So you don't have to recreate reports or anything like that. We're actually calling the out-of-box reports that have been delivered by Key2Act. I could create a new service call, have some fields here as far as the date, type of call, the description, say the server was down. Again, when I click that create button, I could kick off a workflow for review and approval, or it could create that service call in real-time fashion. And I'll showcase some of the workflow capabilities in a second here. So let's keep going through. I have service appointments. So again, just another service module that we're integrating with. This is going to show the service appointments associated to each of these service call IDs. Again, I have this ability to drill down into it, potentially edit it if that's what I've configured, as well as see the appointments and the actual and estimated hours. Go ahead and cancel out of that. Maintenance contracts, just another example of data that we could integrate from Key2Act. Here I'm showing the various maintenance contracts, the amounts, as well as the assigned technician. Again, if you don't like these fields, it's all configurable. This is just for my demonstration. Invoices is a popular one to show the invoices that are applicable to this customer, the status, even make payments. All of those are options with integrating invoices onto a portal. So here you can see I'm separating sales invoices as well as service invoices. I do have the ability to submit this for payment. I don't have time to go through it today, but we have the capability to integrate payment processors, such as the popular ones out there being Authorize.net, or if you're using PayPal, The experience is that we're going to redirect them to that payment page and they can make a payment directly from the portal. Contact information. Maybe I want to look at my customer contact information and I want to enable my customer to collaborate with that data. So here I'm showing the customer's contact records coming directly from the customer cards in Dynamic GP, as well as the financial details for that customer. I could drill into this, change the city here. Maybe they move locations. Go ahead and update it. So that shows you a couple examples from the portal itself. The thing to note, these portal pages are also responsive. So I could look at this on a mobile phone, and of course it would change the layout. In addition to the ability of it being responsive, we could also do mobile applications as well using the power of Power Apps. So I'm going to go ahead and bring over my phone here. And in doing so, I'm going to pull up a Service Desk mobile app that we've created with Power Apps that is integrated with our portal product. So it's using the same filtering mechanisms and things like that, but obviously from a Power App format. So it's a little bit better geared towards mobile entry. Say turn up the AC. And we could go ahead and create that case directly from the mobile application. So you can see I have my various cases that I created. I could also obviously edit these or potentially just view the status. Take away the mobile application for now, and we'll jump to the next part of the demo, specifically Job Cost Portal. So the audience for the Job Cost Portal is a little bit different. In this case, I'm targeting internal employees. Of course, it doesn't have to be that way, but that's what I'm showcasing today. And as you can see, the calls to action are different. I have job status, I have invoices, subcontractors, change orders, etc. So I'm showcasing different information targeted towards a different audience. So if I go into the job status here, it's going to show the jobs, again, coming directly from Key2Act. I could drill into those. In this case, I'm showing estimated costs versus actual. Note that this one is just configured as a read-only. Doesn't have to be that way, but that's the way I've set this up. If I click the print icon here, it's not going to call the call summary report. In this case, it's going to call a percentage of completion. So again, just calling a standard Key2Act SRS report. If we go into some of the other options, invoices by cost category. Here, if I look at my various invoices, I happen to know this one has quite a bit. So if I click on this one, it will show me all of the details. I could either view it in this grid format, or if I drill into it, I could expose additional information because now it's on a form view. So I could share more of the details because I obviously have more real estate. Other options, contract summary, it's very similar to job status, so we'll go ahead and skip that for now. We'll go into subcontractors. Subcontractors, I am featuring our search web part, so we can enable search here. These are all the subcontractors that have been configured in the application. So if I were to put search criteria here and just say ABC, because we have ABC Plumbing, and hit the search button there. Of course, it's going to filter based on the vendor name and just give me the relevant records. Also, I'm showing the ability to attach documents. So if I want these subcontractors to come in or maybe include additional documentation from my employees, I can enable that as well. So they could select a file and that could be integrated directly with that object as it resides in Key2Act and associated in Dynamics GP. Change orders, maybe I want to show the change orders in the application. Here you know I have a couple options. I have the ability to view to edit as well as submit. In this case, submission is going to kick off a workflow for me for review and approval. All of those are options. The workflow that we leverage is going to be used Power Automate or Microsoft Flow. Say here I want to change a completion date. and we'll go ahead and update it. You can see I also have edit capability on the line items as well. So maybe I want to change my estimated cost. They went up a little bit, and we'll go ahead and update that. Again, update directly to Key2Act or initiate workflow before that update occurs. Go ahead and submit that. So again, as I mentioned, this is integration with all of the Office 365 products. So if I go over to my email, and you can see them in fact popping up here, you're going to see various notifications being generated. So this was for me creating a service call. In this case, it just kicked off an email. That could have been a text notification. It could have been even a phone call to me if I wanted to call my cell phone. And here you can see my change order has been modified with the new details that I've included. So again, that could go for workflow, kick off an approval, or it could just send me a simple notification. So that was all the time we had for the demonstration today. If I go ahead and go back to our presentation, I'm happy to announce that we are offering a discount of 20% off our setup fees for our customer, vendor, and employee portals for Key2Act Synergy attendees. So our product pricing is available on our website, but you can see here we have various packages that include standard configuration of the portal application, and we are offering a 20% discount off of those setup fees until the end of June for any Key2Act attendees. That concludes our presentation. If you feel free to contact us with any questions, as well as you could schedule a demonstration directly from our website. And you could find it from the home page, but there's the URL directly here. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate everyone's time. Hope everyone is doing well in the current crisis, and stay safe and look forward to seeing you next year in person. Bye now.